I've lived in Italy for 20 years and I've made every mistake in the book. Some were costly, some were embarrassing, and one left me dragging a 25-kilo suitcase up 4 flights of stairs while locals watched and laughed. So I'm sharing with you 5 things I'll never do again in Italy so you can skip the pain, keep your money, and actually enjoy your trip. Oh, and later I'll tell you about that tiny mistake that ended up costing me 200 euro and how it could easily happen to you. Renting cars in wrong places. I thought renting a car would give me freedom, but in reality it gave me 2 hours of circling the city, searching for parking, and a crash course in hand gestures from angry Italian drivers. So I mostly stick to trains when traveling around Italy. They're faster, cheaper, and you don't get that panic attack when you see a ZTL limited traffic zone sign while driving your car. Overpacking. I once brought a suitcase so big it could have smuggled a Vespa. But the problem is with Italy, the streets are cobbled, hotels have tiny staircases and tiny or no elevators at all, and locals stare at you while you struggle with your big piece of luggage. So now I travel light, a small backpack and a small carry-on, and a smug of satisfaction as I breeze through baggage claim. Oh, but a confession, if you ever see me out in the wild, you might see me with a backpack and a couple of big check-in items. One is a big Pelican case full of all of my electronic gear that I need for work, cameras, drones, everything, and that padded hardshell suitcase. The other one, this 20-year-old orange Samsonite suitcase where I replaced the wheels with rollerblade wheels with true bearings. It rolls along so quickly. It's relatively small for a big suitcase. I can pack 3 weeks of clothing and gear in there and I'm set. The gelato trap. Now this one is a bonus for you and you might be tempted into it as you're pulling your luggage along on the way to your Airbnb. I know I was in that same trap when I first moved here and I thought all gelaterias were magical. But if you see gelato piled high in neon colors and sold from a cart, it's probably overpriced and packed with artificial flavors. So now I only go to real gelaterias, the kind where they sell gelato from stainless steel tubs with seasonal flavors, where the pistachio is rich, nutty green, and not bright lime. Oh, let me know down in the comments, what's your favorite gelato? I usually go with the fruit flavor like fragola, strawberry, and chocolate. Dark chocolate, I'm not a child. Let me know your favorite one down in the comments. Booking too many destinations in one trip. When I first started traveling here, I would cram in Rome, Florence, Venice, Cinque Terre, Naples, all in 8 days. But I barely remember anything except train stations and exhaustion. Now I give myself more time to breathe. 2 places max. That way I can actually get a taste of the places I visit instead of speed dating them.
Oh, nice to meet you. Hey. Hi everyone.
How's it going, man?
Oh, and you got it right there.
Yes, delicious.
The Lampredotto.
Hey.
The Leaning Tower time sink. Here's another bonus for you. I once made Pisa a full day trip for 1 photo. But after standing there for 20 minutes pretending to hold up a tower, I realized I burned an entire day of my vacation. So now I go in with military precision, make it a half-day trip at most, snap a photo with the tower, slam an espresso, and get the hell out of Dodge. Go somewhere else, say like nearby Lucca, with half the crowds and a lot more charm. I got another bonus for you. It's that double bonus type day. paying for overpriced, skip the line tours without checking. I once shelled out for skip the line Uffizi Art Gallery tour in Florence when I didn't even need it. But when I got there at 3 p.m., I saw the place was empty. There were no lines. Well, one line. I still had to wait in line to get my skip the line ticket for the tour. So now I check ahead. You might save yourself money by picking the right time. Eating right next to tourist attractions. I once paid €12 for a watered down cappuccino just because it was in Piazza San Marco there in Venice. But 2 streets away, you can find the same thing, actually better, for €2. So I learned to walk off the beaten path in those city centers, avoid places that have menus in 5 different languages and food photos, and go where the locals actually eat. Beep, 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 beep. More bonus. How can you actually spot a tourist trap restaurant? Well, I mentioned menus with 5 different languages and food, if they're laminated, if they have spaghetti with meatballs on the menu and they're offering plates from Sicily, Naples, and Rome, that's a big no-no sign. That's not passion, that's marketing. And if you see salt and pepper shakers on the table, that's a no-go as well. Ideally, the chef's gonna have his plates coming from the kitchen already seasoned to perfection. So now I look for restaurants where the chef's cooking for the neighborhood, where the prices are better, the food's better, and the vibe, chef's kiss. Speaking basic Italian phrases. I used to just barrel in, speaking English, thinking, everyone uses it here. But I learned to pick up a few different phrases. A simple buongiorno or grazie will get you better service, friendlier smiles, and who knows, maybe in free biscotti with your coffee. So, wherever I'm traveling in the world, on the way there, I study a few words, the basic thank you, hello, please. It's those simple acts of kindness that pay off huge. Oh ma che cazzo fai? Oh, just to let you know, I just released Italy Unlocked, a new travel e-guide that you can download, have on your pocket, on your phone, offline for when you're traveling in Italy. 55 pages thereabouts, 20 years thereabouts of boots on the ground experience from me to you. Detailed airport information, how to get around once you're here, my recommendations on trains and cars and train stations, some of my favorite hotels and restaurants, Google links, it's all in there. Plus, how to be careful when you're traveling, how to avoid those scams, everything you want to know. There's a link to download it in the description. Italy Unlocked.
Where are you guys from?
Toronto.
You watch all the videos?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy your
Nice to
trip.
meet you.
Do you remember at the start of the video when I said there was that tiny mistake that cost me €200? Well, it was this. I was driving a car in a city center and I went into a ZTL, a limited traffic zone, on my way to my hotel. No warning, no gate, just a little camera up there to send me that fine in the mail months later. That's why if I'm staying in cities or doing most of my traveling in between cities, I don't rent a car. I never do that anymore. I stick to trains, buses, and my own 2 feet. It saves me time, money, and stress. Do you remember that earlier we spoke about how a few small habits can change how locals treat you? But what if I told you there's a whole list of mistakes that can get you labeled as that tourist, and most people don't even know they're making them? So in this video next, I break them all down, those mistakes that get you labeled ugly American, how you can avoid them and blend in like a local. Watch it next.